Hi, I'm Dr. Sandra Ackerman.
I'm Dr. Jude Oy.
And this is What's Up, Doc, your opportunity to ask us anything and everything about mental health.
Today we'll be talking about stress, signs and symptoms to watch out for, and things you can do to manage your stress better. As a student, you're probably well acquainted with stress, and it'll be important for you to learn how to manage that stress in order for you to do well and succeed and to feel good.
Stress is a normal reaction to really a perceived or imagined threat or a real threat. It's something that happens to everybody. We all have it.
People talk about stress in terms of tension, as pressure. People describe it as worry. Stress is sometimes also used synonymously with anxiety.
Stress is what makes you slam on the brakes when there's a car cutting you off on the street, or defending yourself if someone were to attack you, God forbid.
Stress basically refers to an experience where you feel your personal resources aren't able to measure up to the expectations and demands placed on you by others or by yourself.
When working properly, stress helps you stay focused, energetic, and alert. Here's a stress curve to help us note what's helpful about stress and when maybe it starts to become unhelpful.
If we plot stress on one axis and performance on another, we get this curve and we can see that some stress is helpful. Sometimes stress serves to light a fire under us to get us moving, and in that sense it can be used to improve performance. However, problems arise when we experience too much of it, or if we experience it for prolonged periods of time. We then begin to feel overwhelmed and overloaded, and we start to burn out.
So how do we know when this stress starts to overwhelm us and we start to fall down that curve? Well, we think about symptoms in 4 areas. We think about cognitive, behavioral, emotional, and physical. Cognitive symptoms would be the thoughts that we have.
You may be more absent-minded, you may be more confused, it may be harder to pay attention or to concentrate.
Physical symptoms might include things like dizziness, nausea, aches and pains, or muscle tension.
We also see changes in mood. We see individuals become more angry.
Maybe feelings of loneliness or feelings of depression.
Anxious and nervous, might become more irritated or annoyed.
Behavioral symptoms would look like changes in your eating habits or your sleeping habits, maybe procrastination.
Individuals start to miss classes. They sometimes end up eating more or end up eating less.
Maybe using alcohol, cigarettes, or other drugs.
Paying attention to those signs and symptoms of stress might be helpful because that'll give you a clue as to whether or not you're experiencing too much stress.
If you notice any of these things coming on, there are several things that you can do, and we're going to give you a bunch of tips today. Not all of them will be helpful, but I encourage you to try at least 1 or 2 and see if they help reduce your stress and or anxiety.
The first major tip is to please practice good self-care. Please is a mnemonic that'll help you remember these set of skills. PL stands for addressing any physical illness. It's hard to feel good and to do well if you're physically sick, so make sure that you go to the doctor, attend to any treatments, take your medication. E stands for exercise. Make sure that you get good exercise. We know for a fact that exercise helps improve mental health as well as physical health. A stands for avoid mood-altering substances and alcohol. Drugs and alcohol oftentimes lead to more negative consequences and other bigger problems than stress. S stands for sleep. Make sure that you get good sleep every night. E stands for eat healthy and stay hydrated. There's a strong mind-body connection, and it's important to be able to feed your body so that your mind can follow.
Another tip is to make sure you relax and do fun things. Go to the mall with friends, read a book, make a fun meal, go see a movie. Anything that kind of takes you out of those things that are making you really stressed out. It's actually really important to take that time away so that you can come back and be focused.
Time management and prioritization. It'll be important for you to buy a planner or to download a calendar app on your phone. This way you can import all of the information that's on your syllabi into one place. It's also important to establish a routine and develop good habits.
A huge tip is breathing and relaxation. There's a lot of different ways to do that. Counselors at the Counseling Center can help you go over breathing techniques. You can go online and look at YouTube videos. There's lots of options to breathe in many different ways. And it's important to practice whatever technique you decide to take on during times when you are calm, because otherwise it's going to be really hard to implement it when you're not calm. So take the time to practice that and see if it's something that's going to work for you and help you feel more relaxed.
And if you'd like more information on other relaxation techniques such as guided imagery, visualization, or progressive muscle relaxation, certainly come to CAPS and we can certainly talk to you about some of those.
Another tip is cognitive shifts and grounding. Cognitive shifts really just means changing the way that you think.
Sometimes people end up catastrophizing or thinking about the problems as opposed to thinking about solutions.
In actuality, what's really most helpful is to say, yeah, there's a lot going on, but realistically, in the past, I always handle it and I know I can handle it right now. And if you can't, then to take a step back and see, how maybe you might balance your schedule a little bit better. And grounding is really just taking a moment to say to yourself, I'm in this moment, I'm doing okay, I feel safe, and I'm I'm gonna get through it.
And lastly, know that you're not alone. You can always speak to someone about your stress, and sometimes just speaking to someone gives you a sense of control and helps you understand what issues you can actually address and attend to.
While it is normal to feel stressed out and anxious at least some of the time in your life, it's really not normal to feel stressed out and anxious all of the time. So if that's happening, I would really encourage you to not just use these tips, but to come over to CAPS
Mooney Hall, 2nd floor, room 27.
See if we can help you find some relief.
Come visit us online, like us on Facebook.
Tune in next time for more installments of What's Up, Doc.